Rashad, I want to touch back on before we lost you for a second, but you were on the Joe Rogan podcast, right? A few times.
Yes, yeah.
Can you tell us about that and how that was, and it inspired you guys to do your sugar and sherm and everything? Like, elaborate more on that.
Yeah, the Joe Rogan podcast probably did like a year and a half ago. I can't really exactly remember, but it was an amazing opportunity. I thought in my mind I have all these things to say once I got on Joe Rogan's show, but once you get on Joe's show, time just goes so fast, and some of the things you think you're going to say, you just didn't really bring up. But we had a really good organic conversation. The conversation was based around, my transformation, where I was at versus where I was at when I was fighting. And during that time, I just kind of like was explaining, like where my mindset was from the last time that most people see me to where I was at the current state. But it's been nothing but development. Once I stopped fighting, I started to do a little bit more introspective work and just kind of seeing like, what was it all about? What do I really want to do? And, what's next for me? Because as a fighter, I've always, had two or three fights a year, and that pretty much marked my time. But without having a fight coming up, I just kind of felt like I was just floating in space and didn't really have that challenge that I was used to having when it came to
Yeah.
fighting. So
Mhm.
it took me a while to kind of find the groove, and I'll be honest, it was painful because you know, um, I was Sugar Rashad Evans, the MMA guy,
Yeah.
the UFC
Right.
fighter, and
Right.
losing that identity and really stepping into who I am was a
Scary.
process.
Wow, you know what, Rashad? I come from, like I said, I come from a family of boxers, and I'm very familiar with the whole boxer atmosphere and what happens after boxing. And just to see, what people go through, and just the gap that has to be filled, and how hard it is to transition. Can you just, elaborate on that a little bit for people
Yeah,
out
it was a very hard transition, to be honest, because you know as an athlete you get so addicted to just the challenge of it, just facing yourself, because you go through a roller coaster of emotions when you have to fight. You're really excited at one point you're kind of just like, why the hell am I doing this? What I'm saying? I need to find something else better to do. But you go through those different extremes, and you never know which one is going to come out. So you just got to just learn to just ride a roller coaster, but just have that deep seated faith in your training and trust the fact that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. And going through those challenges, it kind of helps you grow as a person. So um, I used to like to go through fights just because of the whole process of it all. Win, lose, or draw, I felt like I grew from that experience. So not having that there, not having, the feeling of the fans screaming your name when you just went out there and you won, and just that whole thing that, that the fans bring is so addicting. It's the most powerful drug in the world, and when you have to give that up cold turkey, man, it sucks, man. You go through some crazy withdrawals, and you
Wow.
feel as if like
yeah.
your world is kind of falling apart at times. But then once you start to really peel back the layers and really see what's at the essence of that feeling, then you start to really discover, you know, why you even fought in the first place, and how you can now put the energy to something else. But for a while, I was just spinning my tires, just trying to find that proverbially a black box to see, you know, um, you know, where everything, what happened.
Wow.
Wow. That was
That was
deep,
so deep.
Rashad.
I was about to cry. I'm not gonna lie.
I
So
know.
you're really deep, man.